In the darkness of a divided nation, one man rose, not with a sword, but with unbreakable words and unshakable courage. Abraham Lincoln didn't just fight a war. He fought for the soul of America. This is not just history. This is a journey into destiny. Welcome to Timeless America, where we bring the spirit of history back to life. If you love exploring the great moments, leaders, and stories that shaped America, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new adventure. Let's dive into a story that will inspire your soul. The incredible journey of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was born on a cold winter morning, February 12, 1809, in a tiny log cabin on the frontier of Kentucky. His family was poor, scraping by in the rough wilderness, fighting against the raw forces of nature. Little did the world know, this barefoot boy would one day wear the weight of a torn nation on his shoulders. Life wasn't easy for young Abe. His mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, died when he was just 9. Imagine a young boy, barefoot, standing over the grave of the woman who had taught him kindness and hope. The wilderness seemed even colder that day. Yet from that grief, a fire lit in his heart, a determination to rise above his circumstances, to learn, to dream. Books were rare treasures on the frontier, but Lincoln devoured everyone he could find. Neighbors often saw him walking miles just to borrow a single book. He read by candlelight after exhausting days of hard labor. It wasn't just reading, it was escaping, dreaming, building a mind that could one day move mountains. His heroes were the founding fathers. He whispered their words as prayers. All men are created equal. These ideas weren't just ink. On paper, for Abraham, they were promises he swore to bring to life. At 22, Abraham Lincoln set out to make his way in the world. Working as a shopkeeper, surveyor, and postmaster, he was a jack of all trades. But it was in debate that he found his true calling. In 1832, he ran for the Illinois legislature and lost. Most would have quit, not Lincoln. Each defeat became another brick in the road he was paving toward greatness. He studied law. He taught himself to speak like the great orators he admired. By 1834, he won a seat in the Illinois House of Representatives. The adventure was only beginning. Lincoln's love life was as dramatic as his political career. He fell for Anne Rutledge, a beautiful young woman who many say was the love of his life. Their romance was tragically cut short when Anne died of typhoid fever. Lincoln was devastated, retreating into a deep, dark depression. This heartbreak marked him forever. He carried her memory and his sadness like a hidden wound, yet he pressed on, finding strength in his suffering. Eventually, he married Mary Todd, a fiery and ambitious woman who matched his dreams step for step. Together, they would face trials that would crush most couples and most men. By the 1850s, the nation was boiling over the issue of slavery. States were divided, families torn apart, and violence was erupting. Lincoln, the simple man from the frontier, was about to be thrust onto the grandest stage in American history. His debates with Stephen Douglas were electric. Thousands gathered just to hear Lincoln's words. His towering frame, his raw, honest voice, and his deep moral conviction shook audiences to their core. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States, a humble man, walking into an impossible storm. Before Lincoln even took office, 7 Southern states seceded from the Union. Then, the guns roared at Fort Sumter. The Civil War had begun. Lincoln faced unimaginable pressure. Friends doubted him, enemies mocked him, advisors urged him to compromise on slavery to save the Union. But Lincoln stood firm. His vision was clear: the Union must be preserved, and slavery must end. In the blood-soaked fields of Antietam, amidst the cries of thousands of dying soldiers, Lincoln saw a path forward. He issued the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing slaves in Confederate states. It was a bold, risky move. Many called him a madman. Others worshipped him as a liberator. For Lincoln, it wasn't about politics. It was about human dignity. If slavery is not wrong, he said, nothing is wrong. In November 1863, after one of the bloodiest battles in American history, Lincoln spoke at Gettysburg. In just 272 words, he redefined America. A government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Those words still echo today. A rallying cry for freedom and democracy across the globe. The Union Army, led by generals like Ulysses S. Grant, crushed the Confederacy. In April 1865, General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse. Lincoln had done it. He had preserved the Union. He had struck a mortal blow against slavery. But just days after victory, tragedy struck. On April 14, 1865, Lincoln attended a play at Ford's Theater. There, John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer, shot him in the back of the head. The nation wept. Men and women who had once cursed his name now bowed their heads in grief. Abraham. Lincoln's body was laid to rest, but his spirit never died. He became a symbol of hope, courage, sacrifice, and freedom. Every time a child of any race walks freely across this land, every time a citizen speaks their mind without fear, every time a vote is cast in a free election, Lincoln lives again. He didn't just save a country, he defined it. If Abraham Lincoln's story moved you, imagine how many more incredible stories are waiting to be discovered. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can join us on more unforgettable journeys through history, only here at Timeless America. Thank you for watching, and always remember, history is not just about the past. It's about who we choose to become.